this tiny, small 123 girl, and I just want to show off to the girls and the guys that we're not just these dainty little tiny girls. Our minds are really strong, and like once you set your mind to it, then like you can really pick up some, big boy weights. It's not just the guys that are your everyday gym goers. There's also really strong girls that look badass with like their lipstick too and a bow going on.
I'm Vargas. I broke the American collegiate deadlift record with 418 pounds, and I did it all wearing a bow. So I started powerlifting back in high school, and I was in cheerleading before, and so after school practice, I was picking up these smaller girls than me, and that's usually like a guy's position to do that, like games and events that we have. And so I remember the football players and the coaches walking by through our practice, and the coaches asked me, they pulled me off to the side, and they're like, hey, I think you should join powerlifting. So then I went back home, told my mom about it, and she was like, you are not gonna join this sport because that's a man's sport, you're gonna look super masculine, things like that.
It was like, no, you're gonna look like a bodybuilder with these big muscles, and because Bella's always been real girly and real strong as far as strength, but always real girly with her bows and her outfits real colorful, and I thought, she was gonna look real masculine.
A couple months later, we had our varsity banquet. When the varsity powerlifters came by, the girls especially, my mom was like, oh my gosh, they are so beautiful, they're toned, look at their legs, look at their arms, you gotta join the sport, right? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna sign up.
When I signed up for powerlifting, I was thinking, what is something that could be unique into the sport that I can stand out on the platform? So after being a cheerleader for so long, I decided let's bring over the bows. And back then I had a lot of bows, and to this day I have 30 bows in my collection. They're all big and glittery.
She always loved having a bow. It wasn't, at first it was because it was part of the cheerleading uniform, but then it was just something that she liked to carry, and because she always wore a bow, she would stand out at the powerlifting meets because she was this powerhouse lifting weights and bringing home medals, and yet she's got this cute little bow at the top of her head, and that's where Fear the Bow came in, and it's just something that we started cheering at her meets, just something that people yell out to her, fear the bow, fear the bow.
I never really came up with that myself. I remember I was competing one day in high school, and then some of the parents and some of the students were the ones that were starting the chant, and I was like, hey, I really like that. And so that kind of stuck with me all through high school, and then I brought that into college, and then that chant just grew louder and bigger, just like my bows have.
Powerlifting is what changed Bella's life, and it's so hard to say this without crying, but like any teenager, you go through self-esteem and confidence issues.
During my freshman year, I wasn't having a good time. It was kind of a dark place for me. I was pretty insecure with my body coming into the sport, like being this tiny little non-muscular girl, but now it's like I embrace my muscles with my outfits, like with my dresses. I don't care. My arms are popping out in some of my dresses or my shirts. Like, I think muscles are a beautiful thing on a girl because they worked really hard for that.
Like this, has bows.
I've always been into fashion.
It's my favorite because pastel pink is my favorite color, and then it's just so dainty and sweet.
You know, I want to stand out and I want to have fun with all my outfits, and why not always have a fashion show every day going into class or outside?
This is my favorite beret. It's an egg because eggs is the best way to get your protein in, and so why not have a beret of an egg?
Everywhere's a run walk for Bella.
Some of my favorite fashion icons are definitely Princess Diana and Katy Perry. Their outfits were so bold and amazing, and I thought like, oh, I kind of want to, you know, dress like them too. And so I brought that into my outfits going into school or fun events with friends, but then also that show off that's like, even though I dress girly, like the weight is kind of doing the talking. I wanted to have this girly image coming into the gym, so I'm doing a lot of matching with my outfits. Like, okay, like Mondays we're doing like all blue and like, or like a theme of all red, and that like represents like it's gonna be a fiery, nice lift going on today. Or Wednesdays, like we wore pink, so I got that pink going on. It plays a nice role because it brings out this confidence out of me.
I think of Bella, she's just like the strongest female that I know in every sense of the word. I'm so proud of her.
You know, the questions when you go into class, like introduce yourself, say some fun facts about you. And usually the fun fact I always give out is that I'm a power lifter. And the first thing I get, especially for male students, is that like, oh, you don't look like a power lifter. You definitely can't squat that. I feel like that's a lie. And things like that, just because of my size and the way I'm dressed, like how I dress into class. And so I've definitely gotten a lot of those types of comments. This is who I am. I have more of this girly side, but you know, I'm also still picking up these big heavy weights. If you don't believe it, then oh well, that's you. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and that's power lift.